How's it going, everybody? For this episode of the Board Game Crusades, we're going to be taking a look at one of my absolute all-time favorite board games growing up. Released in the, I believe it was the early 90s, at least that's whenever I was playing it last. Imagine a mixture between Clue and Mousetrap, and you've got 13 Dead End Drive. This game is just notoriously awesome. Let's take a look at what's going on in the box. So what do we have going on here? Well, it says 13 Dead End Drive. The mystery game with 12 suspects, 5 traps, and only 1 survivor. We've got the chauffeur, the butler, the maid, the cat, and we have just this crazy scene going on here. You've got some tennis player falling down the stairs, some gypsy-looking woman about to be crushed by a falling suit of armor. We have a farmer-looking fellow falling through the floor. A chef who's about to be destroyed by a falling chandelier. A doctor woman falling from a ladder up against a bookcase. And we have this smug-looking bastard who's got... what's that? It's a will. And it looks like he's like, haha, fuck you guys, I'm gonna get all this money. And we got some old bitch up here in the picture frame. Well, let's move around to the back of the box now. And it says, can you stay alive in 13 Dead End Drive? Everyone's gathered at Aunt Agatha's mansion for the reading of her will, but only one of the 12 invited guests will inherit her fabulous wealth, the one who survives 13 Dead End Drive. Who will it be? Her cat? Her chef? Her best friend? The answer's in the cards, and in the traps. Play cards to knock off your opponents with the 5 special traps. Watch out for the trip down the stairs, the crashing chandelier, the push-off ladder, the smashing statue, and the flip into the fireplace. If you are the guest to survive, you'll win. And so here we've got some pictures of the stuff happening, and it says you've bumped off the butler. Oops, you've crunched the chef. And so basically we've got like this awesome, just scary mansion with like there's like a thunderstorm going on, like a lightning storm in the windows, and just like all this old pictures and stuff. And then you got this like private eye detective sitting out here. He's about to come into the house to find out what's going on with all these people. So look at this, got all these kids up here having a fucking fun time. So here's what I'm gonna do. This thing takes a while to set up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get everything set up and then come right back to you. Whew. Well, after about 30 minutes of setup, this is what we have, and let me tell you, the setup is definitely worth it. So, man, where to begin? I guess let's start with the players. It's important that the players all start on the red chairs around the table. And let's just go over them quickly. We've got the tennis coach, we've got the doctor, we have the personal fortune teller lady here, the chauffeur, the hairstylist, there's the boyfriend, that old biddy there is the best friend. Coming on around to this side, we've got the butler here. Here's the personal chef, the the maid. Here is the pet cat, the gardener, and back around to the personal tennis coach again. And good lord, what all do we have going on here? So we've got the detective here as he makes his way up to the game over space right here. The front door is open, and as we walk in, we have a couple of interesting items here. We have a knight standing on a stand. We have a flight of stairs, a portrait with different portrait cards in it, a fireplace, a hanging chandelier, and a bookcase with a ladder. And so the way this game works, it's actually got a lot of rules, and it's been a while since I've played, but from what I remember, players deal out these, which are the player cards, and this determines which players that you own. And so everybody will get, you know, an equal amount of these. and then you don't want to let anyone know like who you have control of. So if there's only 2 players, then you actually leave 2 mystery players on the board. That being said, these are the trap cards, and man, do those look fucking awesome or what? And basically, you've got the detective. Now, every time this card comes up, you have to move the detective 1 space, and I believe, I could be wrong, but if the detective makes it into the house before anyone else has won the game, then the game is over. Now, you're probably wondering how to win the game. Well, what you have to do is, there are certain times where the portrait changes, and you have to make it out of the house when your portrait is what's showing. But of course, you have to move around the house in such a way that you're probably going to get knocked off and killed by another player with the traps. And that's where the trap cards come in. So see, we have the statue, the bookcase. This is a wild card where you can do anything. Bookcase and fireplace. Just the bookcase and the stairs, more detective cards. So as you can see, there's all these different trap cards, which is pretty cool. Let's move those out of the way for now. The way the portrait changes, there's a few ways it can happen, I think, but one of them is if you roll doubles. And so each die, you're going to get to move 2 people. You cannot move diagonally, you have to move by the grid, and you can't move through objects. So once the game starts, you're supposed to take Aunt Agatha's portrait and lay it face down on the sofa. That's really important that you do that. And there we go. She is the one who's going to want to escape out of the house. And so we don't know who plays that person, but let's say we just start moving. And, you know, everybody's starting to move around the house now and explore. And there's more rules to the game, you know, because you're probably thinking, oh, well, why doesn't she just make a mad dash straight to the door and it's game over? I don't remember the rules fully, but it does require you to move all around the house and everything. So I know what you guys are wanting to see. Y'all want to see the traps in action, so you know what? Let's do it. We'll put a tennis coach. We'll put him right there. Let's move old man fuckface up here. He's on the bookcase. He doesn't know how to read. He's just standing up there. We'll put the doctor bitch. She can be standing right up here. The fucking stupid cat, he can be standing right here in the fireplace for all I care. Yep, just standing right there in front of the fireplace like a dumbass. And who else don't I like? I don't really care for her too much. She looks like kind of a bitch. So she can be standing right here underneath the chandelier. And the rest of these people, y'all can just all fucking get out of the way. So anyway, oh, this is my favorite character, by the way. I don't know why, he just looks so sinister, like, I'm a cannibal secretly. And, yeah, so there's also these trap doors which allow you to teleport around the play area. As you can see, there's trap doors in all the corners, and these are also used to set yourself up near traps and stuff. So, without further ado, we will show the traps one by one. So we hit this flipper here, and better be careful on that ladder, old man. Something could happen like this. She should really be careful because this chandelier looks a little wobbly. You know what they say, if you can't take the heat, then get out of the fireplace. Hey, you might want to be just kind of careful on those stairs so you don't fall down. And there you guys have it, 13 Dead End Drive. One of the most badass, most brutal and awesome board games to ever be conceived. It's a mad dash from the beginning to steal the will and get out of the house with the fortune while surviving all the treachery and greed that this terrible, greed-filled mansion has to offer. It's an amazing game where you can off other players, you can be a complete fucking asshole, kill your friends, steal the money from out under their feet, and then get the hell out before the detective catches you and sees what's going on. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Board Game Crusades, and stick around because I'll probably do a gameplay video of this very soon.